Hello and we welcome all our viewers to Global TV's news cycle live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Judith Peters. And the news President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has delivered his inaugural address at the United Nations General Assembly UNGA on Wednesday, with emphasizing on the imperative of African overcoming foreign exploitation and achieving prosperity through democratic ideas. The president said the continent seeks to be neither a mere appendage nor a patron. Uyi Agbamfuegbe of our desk bring you more story.
Addressing other heads of government, including U.S. President Joe Biden and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky, President Tinubu spoke on the theme Rebuilding Trust and Reigniting Global Solidarity, Accelerating Action on the 2030 Agenda and its Sustainable Development Goals towards peace, prosperity, progress, and sustainability for all. He emphasized the significance of this year's theme for Africa, given its unique historical context. President Tinubu also traced the establishment of the United Nations, linking it to the aftermath of the Second World War, when global trust in institutions was at its peak.
The period was a high water mark for trust in global institutions and the belief that humanity had learned the necessary lessons to move forward in global solidarity and harmony. Today, for several decades, Africa has been asking for the same level of political commitment and devotion of resource that described the Marshall Plan.
Tinubu attributed Africa's challenges to failures in good governance and decried the impact of broken promises, unfair treatment, and exploitation from abroad on the continent's progress.
Failures in good governance have hindered Africa, but broken promises, unfair treatment, and outright exploitation from abroad have also exerted a heavy toll on our ability to progress. Given this long history, if this year's theme is to mean anything at all, it must mean something special and particular to Africa.
On the challenge posed by the adverse impact of climate change, President Tinubu, who doubles as chair of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, affirmed Africa's commitment aimed at combating the scourge, particularly from Nigeria's standpoint.
African nations will fight climate change, but must do so on fair and just terms. To achieve the need popular consensus, this campaign must accord with overall economic efforts. In Nigeria, we shall build political consensus by highlighting remedial actions which also promote economic good. Projects such as Green Wall to stop desert encroachment, halting the destruction of our forests by mass production and distribution of gas-burning stoves.
This is President Bola Tinubu's first participation at the United Nations Annual General Assembly. Uyi Agbamfuegbe, reporting for Global TV.
Well articulated, Uyi, and still the federal government has decided to mark the Independence Day anniversary of the country in a less ceremonial way. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, while fielding questions from State House correspondent after a meeting with Vice President Shettima at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, says the 63rd Independence anniversary will be celebrated low-key. Kikelomo Okere completes the report. A 15-man planning committee ahead of the nation's 63rd Independence anniversary was inaugurated on Monday. The federal government has decided to mark the Independence Day anniversary of the country in a less ceremonial way. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, while fielding questions from State House correspondent after a meeting with Vice President Shettima at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, says 63rd Independence anniversary will be celebrated low-key.
Independence Day is a very historic event in the history of any country, and we in Nigeria are no exception. We are fully prepared for celebration, but for obvious reasons, it's going to be low-keyed. But we're wishing Nigerians the best of luck, and I want to assure them that better days are coming, pretty soon too. Well, this is going to be low-keyed. We are not going on fantastic jamboree in the Eagle Square and other locations. It's a time for reflection. It's a time for all of us to think very, very deeply about us as a people and the journey forward. And this journey is being charted appropriately by the captain of the ship.
Still on the news cycle, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has conveyed his warm congratulations to Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the wife of President of Nigeria, on her 63rd birthday, which is set to be celebrated on Thursday, 21st, 2023. Governor Sanwo-Olu praised Remi Tinubu as a dedicated and compassionate leader whose positive influence has touched numerous lives throughout a distinguished public service career. In a statement released on Wednesday by his Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Agboyega Akosile, Sanwo-Olu described the former First Lady of Lagos State and current First Lady of Nigeria as an advocate for social justice, a philanthropist, and a champion. Sanwo-Olu also expressed his belief that Senator Tinubu, who has served 3 terms as a senator, is deserving of celebration, particularly on her birthday, for her outstanding services in the nation holding various capacity, both in the public and private sector. And in line with the mandate of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to ensure Abuja remains the enviable national capital, the Department of Development Control of the Federal Capital Territory Development, FCDA, has swung into action in a bid to demolish all illegal structures. Speaking on Global TV's breakfast program this morning, the director of the Department of Development Control, Mukhtar Galadima, said that there has been a significant amount of misconception of Abuja Master Plan.
Stations have different philosophies and styles. So it's also with the present minister of the FCT. Barrister Nyesom Wike. Yes, people seeing what had happened at River State and his inaugural speech has really contributed tremendously in seeing the narratives being changed. Yes, because now in fact he has made our work a lot easier by that singular pronouncement that all illegal structures are going to be removed. All structures that are built where they are not supposed to be are going to be removed. That alone has made our work very, very easy.
And in the same vein, Galadima further stated that the Department of Development Control, under his leadership, adheres to due process before, during, and after demolition exercises, citing the Area 1 market at Garki as an example.
Going back to history, this master plan was prepared in 1979 for the new capital city of Nigeria. Then the economy was so buoyant. The technology was not advanced. The population dynamic was not as what we are seeing today. So all these things are subjects of review. So, but you see, at a point in time in the implementation of the master plan, some people just use the phrase, Abuja master plan has been bastardized. No. The master plan, the document itself says that it is subject to review due to unforeseen circumstances. But those are variables that cannot be changed. These are the provisions of the infrastructure, that is the road, the water line, the sewer line, and all that. These corridors should not be tampered with.
Lastly, Galadima stated on the appointment of the immediate past governor of Rivers State as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, expressed confidence in his ability to show courage, will, and resilience and providing the right leadership for the FCT.
Make a particular case in this scenario, the case of Area 1.
Right.
You will agree with me that there's every need to sanitize that particular environment, particularly the shopping center area, because one, there's, as a government's responsibility, we have to ensure safety of property and lives. And two, we have to ensure hygiene of the environment. So what happened when we took a turn to move around the city, particularly that particular shopping center, there was no space for easy circulation. So in order to prevent the unfortunate incident happening anytime where we are going to lose lives and properties, we have to move in. And before the exercise proper, we invited the stakeholders. In this context, the Abuja Investment Company who owns the shopping center, and then the operators of the shops and other goods and services there. We invited them. We had a meeting with them at a Diplomat Park in the same area one. We explained to them our objectives, and they bought the idea. Not only that they bought the idea, they even participated in the exercise.
Still the news cycle, and on another vein, the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Kano has declared Nasiru Yusuf, a governor of the All Progressive Congress (APC), as winner of the Kano governorship election. The tribunal gave the final judgment after considering some votes recorded by the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) candidate and Kano Governor Abba Kabari Yusuf. The presiding judge, Justice Oluyemi Akintan Osedabe, said the measure of votes scored by the NNPP was not enough to give Governor Yusuf victory. It said some of the votes credited to Yusuf were invalid. Also, a 24-hour curfew has been declared in Kano State following the judgment of the Election Petition Tribunal sacking the state governor Abba Kabari Yusuf. The Commissioner of Police, Muhammad Hussaini Gumel, in a statement he personally signed, said a combined team of security operatives have been dispatched across the city to enforce the curfew. In view of the constitutional mandate of the Nigeria Police Force alongside the relevant internal security and law enforcement agency to preserve law and order in the state, the Kano State Police Command have mapped out strategies on that direction and call on the good people of the state to give the necessary confidence and support. And now the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Olukayode Ariwoola, has called on Nigerians to imbibe the culture of less litigation and more of alternative dispute resolution mechanism to enable courts free up unnecessary burden and the pleasure of both human and material resources. Justice Ariwoola spoke at the Supreme Court while inaugurating the 9 newly appointed justices of the Court of Appeal. Sandra Akpa reports that he, the Chief Justice, lamented that the country's judiciary is not at pleasant times due to continued rise in cases pending before various courts.
I'll be faithful and bear due allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Giving reasons for the continued rise in court cases, the Chief Justice of Nigeria said several novel crimes are being committed in the country that have now made litigations to go on a steady rise. He laments that Nigeria continuously ranks among the most litigious countries in the world.
Today's ceremony is an indication of the times that we are currently in. Several novel crimes are being committed in the country that have now made litigations to go on a steady rise. Political cases, especially, are taking a monumental toll on our dockets. Indeed, the times we are in are not pleasant, to say the least. No court in the land is spared of this. We are constantly on our toes, and the dockets are ever rising in response to the challenges of the time.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria warned the new appeal court justices to avoid running foul of the law by running away from all forms of corruption and temptations. He reminded them the oath administered on them to assume office as justices of the Court of Appeal is a solemn pledge and commitment to good conduct in the course of their adjudication, especially as senior judicial officers in the appellate courts.
In life, gifts and wealth that are not worked for, which are by extension undeserving, are always destructive and calamitous in nature. I pray that your Lordship don't fall into such snare in the course of your ascension to the pinnacle of your career. You must, against all odds, conduct your affairs within the ambit of the law and the oath that you have just been administered on you. The level of public scrutiny of your conduct will, henceforth, assume astronomical dimension because you have willingly taken up appointment that will strategically place you perennially in the eye of the storm.
While urging the newly inaugurated justices to redouble their efforts and dialogue properly with their conscience, the Chief Justice of Nigeria further admonished your lordships to flee from temptations in disguise, saying their reputation and integrity matter much and count enormously in their rise to honor and fame in life. Sandra Akpa reporting for Global TV.
Thank you very much, Sandra Akpa. And for more stories, let's now look at some business news. The exchange rate between the naira and the dollar plunged to a record low 983 naira per dollar at the black market based on quotes received by Nairametrics on Wednesday, as currency traders said there are no dollars to sell. This represents a 2.93% drop when compared with the 955 naira per dollar that it traded the previous day, as the foreign exchange crisis in the country continues unabated. This also shows a substantial depreciation from the 950 naira per dollar that it traded last week, as the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) appears to be still struggling to stabilize the foreign exchange market despite its various policy procurement. Recall that in mid-August, the dollar was quoted as low as 555 naira per dollar, striking fears among investors that the exchange rate might plummet to 1,000 naira per dollar. This, however, appreciated at some point to 840 naira per dollar after the Airpeace Bank warned speculators about potential major losses due to the policies and hopes to introduce. Also in business, the Commission of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has indicated that construction of the 1028-kilometer Abidjan-Lagos Highway project is set to commence in January 2024, beginning with the procurement for the main construction and the actual construction work at a workshop convened in Lagos by the Project Implementation Unit of the Commission's Spatial Development Initiative to exchange ideas and comprehensively assess the highway project physical, economic, and social aspect. The chairman of the Special Development Initiative, Ebere Izonobi, revealed that experts from 5 member countries, namely Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, Benin Republic, and Cote d'Ivoire, were convened to discuss the project aimed at transforming the lives of people living along this corridor. He emphasized that transport infrastructure has been accorded top priority in the ECOWAS Commission programs. He further disclosed that the project was deliberated upon and approved during the meeting of the heads of state. And lastly, the World Bank says the coup d'etat in Niger may put additional pressure on Nigeria and other West African nations' food markets, according to the Global Bank. The Nigerian coup d'etat puts an addition 7 million people at risk of falling into severe food insecurity in the region against a backdrop of soaring commodity and stable food prices. A severe food insecurity already affecting 3.3 million people during the lean season. The bank stated this in its September food security update, where it says, while describing the implication of economic and financial sanctions the Economic Community of West African States and the West African Economic and Monetary Union imposed on the country. The Washington-based bank stated that food prices increased by up to 21% in August in Niger. It's noted that these limited poor households access to food and their ability to meet their dietary needs. The coup leaders have already put an end to the single window system set up by Mohamed Bazoum to limit embezzlement of funds and corruption in the public administration. As a result, there are palpable fears that the revenue from customs and tax services is again paid into the public treasury account, which will allow the junta to freely plunder public funds. You're watching Global TV's news cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're in StarTimes Channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using a Global TV MG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. We'll be back with more stories for you after this short break. Please don't go away. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of the news cycle from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Let's now look at some story on sport. The Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, has confirmed that Sao Tome and Principe have withdrawn from the 2024 Women Africa Cup of Nations first round against Nigeria. The 9-time African champions were to host the Sao Tome and Principe ladies in the first leg of the qualifying match at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos on Friday, with a return leg scheduled for Tuesday, September 26. The Nigeria Football Governing Body last week released a list of 24 players for the clash, with camp slated to open same Tuesday. However, the NFF's Director of Communications, Ademola Olajire, stated that logistics was the primary reason for their opponents' withdrawal from the WAFCON qualifiers. Also in sport, the Kwara State contingent will compete in 18 of the 32 sporting events at the 7th National Youth Games NYG, kicking off on Wednesday, September 20th, 2023 in Asaba, Delta State. The executive chairman of Kwara State Sports Commission, Malbola Magaji, disclosed this in Ilorin, the state capital, yesterday. Magaji said that a contingent of 215 members comprising athletes, coaches, secretaries, helpers, interpreters, board members, cleaners, and medics will depart in Ilorin for Asaba for the 10-day youth games. He said that the state would only concentrate in sports that are sure to win medals. Magaji said that the state had recorded a huge success in the history of National Youth Game, ranking 1st to 10th on the medals table in the previous edition, commended the state governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak's administration for sustaining an enabled environment through prompt release of funds and improved infrastructural development. Lastly, Yammer has opened up on his time with teammate Messi at Paris Saint-Germain Football Club. For details of this and more, let's now join Sharon Ajay.
Two-time Commonwealth champion and Olympic silver medalist Blessing Ogborududu will be hoping to secure a Paris 2024 Olympic Games spot when she begins her campaign at the ongoing 2023 pre-Olympic qualifiers in Belgrade, Serbia on today. The 29-year-old will fight in the repeated contest for a place in the final on Wednesday to wrestle for bronze after Moore secured a spot in the final. In the other quarter-final bouts of the day, Nigerians Mercy Genesis and Anna Ruben lost their chances to qualify for the Olympics or vie for medals after their quarter-final opponents failed to advance to the final. Let's turn to sports, where Brazil forward Neymar da Silva Santos has said he lived through hell alongside former teammate Lionel Messi during their time together at Paris Saint-Germain. Asked how he felt about seeing his good friend Messi lift the World Cup with Argentina in 2022, Neymar told Globo's Esporte Espectacular in an interview given in June that aired on Sunday that he was very happy for the year he had, but very sad because he lived both sides of the coin. Messi and Neymar, who had previously played together at Barcelona, won league titles at PSG but failed to bring Champions League success to the club. Shauna J reporting for Global.
Thank you very much, Sharon. And that's it on Global TV News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Don't forget, we're in StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using the Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. On behalf of the production team, I am Judith Peters. Thank you so very much, and do not forget to always be good and do the right things at the right time. Stay blessed.